Everybody, I'm going to show you today how to make a crazy quilt block. I made one in a Facebook group I was in, or I suggested we all make one to swap, and I couldn't believe nobody knew how to make one. My grandmother, that was one of my first blocks I ever learned how to do. All I do is I take an old white sheet, okay, and I'm going to make 9-inch blocks, so I cut the sheet up into 10-inch squares. They do not have to be perfect because this is going to be our back to our block. And you can see it's all wrinkled, so I'm going to press it just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect either. Just enough to get the big ones out. And I love my little mini iron. I think this is one of the easiest, most forgiving blocks you'll ever make. So here it is, the block. And what I have is a whole bunch of different little pieces. I have stringers, I have bigger stringers, little pieces, tons of little everything in here. Okay? I even have corners off of my quilts that I do. And I'm going to cut this down into having 5 edges. Okay? So that gives me more pieces to work with later. So I'm just going to end up with a piece like this. Does not have to be perfect in any way. And I lay it in the center of my block. Okay? And we're going to work our way around from that. And what I do is I just take whatever pieces I want. With the center block, what's nice is to use your smaller little chunky pieces that you can't usually use for anything else, but for this, it's perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to line it up on there like that. You see it? And then I'm going to sew. My workroom is in my bedroom, so please forgive me. And I'm just going to do a 1/4-inch seam. Until I get past that bottom layer is all. Okay. So this is what we have now. Yep, they'll both move until we get them. But these two are now connected to the white, okay, your background. So what we do now is I am going to turn it over, hand press it a little bit. And this line here, I'm just going to carry it on. Does not have to be perfect. Like I said, this is a very forgiving block. This is what we have now. We can do our next row this way. You can iron it, each one open, just to have a crisper line if you'd like. Okay, so there we have that. Now I'm going to take another one and I'm just going to line it up with the pink and the green here. The start to the finish. And I'll move it over just a little bit to make sure we get that. Okay. And just sew that one until you get past the green at a 1/4-inch mark. And there we are again. You can hand press that open. And there we are again. I think they did it the old way like this because they wanted their quilts to be super duper heavy because of the heat. They didn't have a lot of heat back then. They would heat with wood or whatever from their wood stoves or their cooking stoves, and that was it. So they wanted their blankets to be extra heavy. So now I just have another scrap, and I'm going to turn it again. And I'm just going to line them up. This one I'm going to cut down because it doesn't need to be so long. So I don't have such a long piece to deal with. And if you see, my green and my yellow in the back aren't perfect. So I'm just going to move my blue over to the very center where the green just now shows. And another quarter. By doing it this way, you don't need a thick batting when you finish it. Just a nice light batting and you'll have a wonderful quilt. My grandma made me one of these when I was a kid. We heated with wood and it was always cold in our house at night. And this blanket was so warm. So now we are at this level. Okay, I'm going to cut this so it approximately goes the way of the line of the green to the blue to make it straight. Just iron it down a little bit. Okay. I even saved pieces like this off of my grandson's quilt. That's all different colors, which I can throw in there. It's not going to hurt nothing. Because you're going to have so many different colors and variations that everyone is going to be different. And you're not going to notice just one. That's why this quilt is so forgiving. Just lay that on there. We're basically going in a circle around that center piece until we get to our outside edges. This is what we have so far. This here is a little crooked, so I'm going to cut this pink to go straight across. See, now that gives me another, basically a straight line to put another row on. This is a Sunbonnet Sue piece that I have left over. I love this fabric. I don't think they make it anymore. So here again. If your 1/4 inch seam isn't perfect, that doesn't matter either because nobody's going to notice at the end. There we go. We're going to cut this one down. We're going to cut this yellow down to match the pink. See, it looks a little messy, but like I said, you're never going to know once it's all done and over. I'm going to do a big piece here just to show you how I am getting to the edge because I'm getting close over here. about this too is you're not going to know what your block's going to look like until you're done. Set those in there. My dog is begging me to go out in the living room for some reason. Driving me nuts. Okay. You see, this is coming over to the edge. So our next one is going to be here because we're going in a circle. And that's going to take up this edge. And when we get around to here, it's going to end up coming off this way. And then you'll just have a little piece on that edge. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this while you guys are here with me. Let's do a big purple. Something we haven't used yet. And that may just cover up that end piece. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Perfect scrap buster quilt. Yep, it's going to cover up that edge. See how it's hanging off of there? What we're going to do is go from the back. And we'll use our handy dandy. We'll just go along the white and we can cut it down so we get an idea of what it's looking like. When we're all done with the block, we're going to cut it down to a 9-inch block. Right now, like I said, it's a 10-inch block. Just because of, you know, you want area to stay. So that corner is actually going to be done. Let's go ahead. Where do we want to start? Well, it looks like right there. So we're going to cut that corner off again. Because that's just the way it's shaping up. Because we need to cut this one off to match the blue. So that corner was not done. Now it will be. Such a little wooden area, it's hard to keep everything straight. There, now that corner is done. See how it's shaping up? It's really looking like a crazy block. Good look. My future plan was to make one of these out of velvet. My aunt made one and it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Now this one has a little spot here, but that will be cut off because, like I said, it's going from a 10-inch block to a 9-inch block, which is fine. So let's go ahead and cut this back to help keep it in a square, just so we know looking like. And you can put something there just in case. And you don't have to use such big pieces like I am either. Let me see what I have back here. Long enough. That's the fun part too, is finding something that's long enough. There we go. We'll use this one. Actually, we're going to cover this little spot up right here. Alright, now what do I need here? I need a wider piece, which is kind of hard. So you want to save all sizes because you will use them. There's no doubt. I guess when you put a brown in there, why not, right? This is going to come off this way because that's the way our line is headed. And if you can see this, here we went this way. We should have moved it up a little bit. But it's going to come right across here to go with that line in the center, which is fine. It's just going to make our block a little bit different again. Different angles, different look. This is why I say you'll never know what your block's going to look like until it's done. And when it's done is when the whole thing is covered. I'm sorry this video is so long, but I want to show you each step so you get the concept down okay. Alright, one more piece and this block is done. It's shaping up pretty well. And let's see. That one's not quite wide enough, even though it would be perfect. Let's see. We'll use this one. This is our final one on this block, so let's see what we're going to look like. The more colorful you go, the prettier your block and your quilt will be. Alright. It does not look very pretty at the moment, but we are going to cut it down now. Grab my 9.5 inch square. And perfect. Of course I moved it, why not, right? Alright, and there is our finished square. There's the back, which I will cut these pieces of string off, of course. And that just helps keep our block straight with being different, you know, ways of sewing and stuff. Just gives it a more of a format. So that's how you make a crazy quilt block. Hope you enjoyed.